Hello, 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 hello. Hello. How's everyone doing today? How is... You are very loud. I'm going to turn you down. Don't think I need air conditioning. I think I just need some air movement. How is everyone doing today? Good morning. By Jove, it's only 8 p.m. Down Undermaker. Oh, wait. Let's see. Sorry. One second here. I have to be respectful to our Aussie. 1 second there. 1 second. There we go. Nope, wait, wrong way. Wrong way. I did the wrong one. I screwed up the joke. Pretend you didn't see that. Pretend you didn't see that. Okay, ready? There we go. Morning, governor. Put another shrimp on the barbie. Have some of that Aussie beer, I guess. I don't know. Kangaroo. I don't know. I can't make the dingo ate my baby joke because that's just sad because it actually did happen. Okay. The UK accent. I know, it's like I can't do an Aussie accent. I can't. It's like every time I try to do an Aussie accent, I just picture Hugh Grant or Russell Crowe. Oh, it's Russell Crowe. I just can't. I just can't. Okay. How y'all doing today? How's everyone doing today? It's Saturday night. I feel all right. It is a beautiful, I don't know, I'm in a garage. You can't even tell what the weather is. But anyways, it's a nice, relaxing Saturday night. Tomorrow's Father's Day for those in North America. I think it's only North America does Father's Day tomorrow. So if you forgot something for your dad, this is your oh shit moment. Don't miss the stream, but go buy something. And yeah, since the stream yesterday, you could see some parts here. These are all the parts you need to turn a Trident into an index compatible Trident. That's it. That's it. These are all the parts you need to make your Trident index compatible. It's 3 slightly different bed mounts to move the bed 5 millimeters past. And then we have these parts on the front here, which we'll start with. So actually I got to put heat sets and stuff. So let me turn my heat set iron on. Because we're gonna go back a little bit, install these guys, and then this way we can put our crossbar in. But I'm not gonna bother putting the crossbar in yet. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother putting the crossbar in yet because there's no point and it'll just be in the way for the rest of the build. But yeah, we essentially, you just need to replace these little cover pieces in the front, and then you slightly different bed mounts, and your R2 Trident is index compatible. I don't know about you, but after going through the whole rigmarole of building a stealth changer, adding Trident to an index, or adding index to a Trident is like, it's like 3 hours of printing and like 4 parts. It's nothing. It is like, now, to be fair, Steve kind of did design this printer with the idea that it would be an index in mind. So it's not like, you know, it's an open secret. Trident R2 was designed with the capability of supporting additional systems for the modding community in mind. And while these are not official Voron parts, because index is not an official Voron thing, a guy who happens to be on the Voron team just made the mods, so take that as you will. What size? This is a 350. So we're gonna fit as many tools as we can fit across the front. Simple as that. It will be as many tools as we can fit across. So first things first, every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. If you haven't entered yet for your chance to win some polymaker filament, link in the video description, enter for your chance. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, and at the end of stream we will do some giveaways. Now, I do have to do a little bit of housekeeping. Just a heads up, if you have won a spool of filament in the past, I don't know how long it's been, and you haven't received word from Polymaker. So if you've already gone through and you've done the order, you're good. But if you've won the spool and you haven't received the email from me, or you got the email from me, but you tried to like fill out the form with Polymaker and it didn't work, DM me on Twitter or Discord, preferably Discord. DM me. Apparently Polymaker is having an issue in the back end with their email system in regards to these, because it's all an automated system, right? It's all an automated system. Apparently they're having issues in the back end and things not working right, and they're working on fixing it, but it's like 12-hour time difference between, you know, North America and their Asia market folks, and yeah. So if you've won and it's not working, DM me on Twitter or Discord, and I'm just keeping a list. So we're still doing the giveaway tonight. Just be aware, if you win tonight, you might not get your code. I don't know. They're working on fixing it now. Could be fixed before the end of stream, could be a week. I don't know. I just know that they're having an issue with their back-end system. So they're working on getting that fixed. So in the meantime, we will continue to do the giveaways. It's just, if you do win, you might not get your code for however long it takes to get fixed. Hopefully sooner rather than later. So just a little heads up, Regret not going 350. So honestly, 350 on a stock Trident is kind of weird because it's still only 250 on the Z. This printer I honestly didn't really use a lot because it's a really big printer for the amount of Z, and it worked really good for like printing plates of parts because you can load up a whole plate of parts. But the 250Z actually is surprisingly limited. There's not many prints you're doing where the single print is big enough to take advantage of the 350 on the XY, but not have issues in the Z. Because here, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Big printers are wasteful. I know. We're gonna piss off everyone who bought a Bamboo H2 or Soval SV08. Two 250 printers, for the majority of people, is more productive than one 350 or 400 printer. Because most printers only have one tool head, right? Why do you think I've been printing all the parts for everything, like all the kits and everything I've been doing on my Core 1s? Because they're all exactly the same, so they all print exactly the same. And I can split the work up into 3 printers. So instead of one 9-hour plate, I can do 3 3-hour plates and have everything done in 3 hours. So it's kind of weird how people want these big printers, and big printers are what everyone wants. But honestly, the majority of people don't need, like, you are much better served spending the money to buy a bunch of 250s and maybe one large format than a bunch of large formats, I think. Smaller printers also use less power. They use less power. So if you're printing something that doesn't take up the whole bed, you're not wasting power, keeping that whole giant bed warm. It's easier to heat the chambers on smaller printers. They're much more efficient. My Core 1s right now, it's summer in the garage. My Core 1s, just the normal Core 1s, they're not even Core 1 Pluses. They get to 55 Celsius in the chamber just off the bed. And it's a Mark 42 or 52 bed. It's not even an aluminum bed. So, faster printer is more printer. Exactly. Because most plastics don't like being printed so fast. Unless you have like a hot end that can really handle it. A lot of off-the-shelf printers that print fast, I found, you don't get what you want. Like, for example, I have printed Voron parts on Bamboos. Back in the day, I've printed Voron parts on my Bamboo machines, and legit, I found the I had to print with their stock profiles and everything with ABS or ASA. I would have to print at half speed, or at the slow speed. So, you know, on the Bamboo, you can change your speeds. I would print at 60%. Because if I printed at 100%, I actually noticed I had print quality issues. My prints didn't look that good, and I didn't like it. So. So that's that one. Now we gotta screw these in. This is gonna be annoying, I got a feeling. I got a feeling these are gonna be annoying. So I don't need you anymore, garbage. Mark II, I printed my Voron parts with a Mark II. Yeah, I've printed Voron parts. I printed a Voron parts on a, if you haven't seen my video series, I made it years ago. How to print ABS. My print series that I made, which was how to print ABS. Yeah, my series, I made this 5 years ago. How to print ABS. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this little printer I used. This is called a Bonsai. It is parts left over from printer builds and a Monoprice Select Mini. Okay? This printer is shite. But guess what? You put it in a cardboard box. I used a piece of Coroplast with a scrap piece of plexiglass for the screen. Guess what? It prints ABS beautifully. You don't need a crazy printer to print ABS. You just need something that can get warm and enclosed. That's it. So it's like, yeah, you don't need to go crazy. Now the problem is, there we go. Okay, we got one in. This was a bit annoying because of the lining up with the PTFE in the way. There we go. Okay, and now, I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but essentially, we should be able to, oh yeah, look at that belt tension. Oh yeah, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Okay, good. So now we have our new front idlers installed, and then we have these little guys here, and then these guys will attach to the extrusions. So we have these guys here, these attach to the extrusions. So for now, I'm just gonna put them on with some M38s. I think that's what I'm supposed to use. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put them on so I don't lose them. What was that square that flashed up? Oh, it's this camera has like a face detection thing, and it pops, yeah, it pops up on, it's for whatchamacallit, focusing. Right there. Yeah, it's a Fantic screwdriver. I bought this at Costco. It sucks because Fantic is sponsoring a bunch of people now. I didn't get the email, but I've noticed Fantic is sponsoring people on YouTube, so I've noticed that. But oh no, that's the wrong one. I bought this at Costco a while ago, and it's been a pretty dang solid screwdriver so far. So. X1C gets a weird above 65C. I've never pushed my X1 that hot. So these parts do have adjustments. The parts that I'm putting in right now, they do have up and down. Dang it, this sucks. You can't. It's horrible. You can't see what I'm doing. I'll show you in a second. They do have adjustment for up and down. So for alignment for when it goes to actually picking up the tools, you will have to calibrate it. So you do have some, but here, I'll show you. So I'll spin this around right here. So this is what we have. So if you want to know, why do I have random M5 screws falling out of this thing? Whatever. So essentially, your front idler, okay, the front cover of your front idler now has these little clips. You can see them there. And then your 1515 extrusion mounts into that. And then you would put all your docks on top of this. Okay, so it has to be 1515 because if it was 2020, there wouldn't be enough material to hold the tools themselves. Like it has to be a 1515 extrusion for the crossbar. Let me pull up a picture here to show you what I mean. When did I go? April? April. Where is it? Yeah. So you can see it here. So your crossbar goes like this. And then the printed mounts that hold the tools, they wouldn't work over a 2020. It has to be a 1515. But literally, all this crossbar does is it just holds your tools. And it just mounts to your extrusion. So it just goes right across there. So we are gonna have to cut this extrusion because it's way too long. But you do have some wiggle room if it's too short, so. Is this 350 spec? No, this is 350 on the XY, 250 on the Z. So this will work actually pretty good for a multi-color machine because it'll allow me to fit a bunch of tools on it. How many tools are we putting on it? However many Bondtech sends me. I can also steal tools off the person they're sending me too, but that's another thing. But yeah, however many tools I get with the kit is what's going on. If it's 6, it's 6. If it's 4, it's 4. If it's 8, it's 8. If it's 9, we'll see if we can fit 9. Simple as that. Where do you get your 1515 extrusion? Oh, I got my 1515 extrusion. If you're looking to get 1515 extrusion, what you do is get in a tie machine, go back to Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest and ask Steve for a piece of 1515. Because if you want to know, it's right here. This is the 1515. Steve took apart one of his little spool holders that he had on his Trident and he gave it to me. Because the problem is I live in Canada. So if I were to if you're in the States, order through Masumi or something, right? But like 1515 extrusion that is long enough is like, how long is that? 2-piece silver, 300 millimeters. So that's too short. That's too short. So that would be too short. $23. That's not too bad, actually. You can get it wherever, but you get wherever. It's 1515. It doesn't need to be any fancy kind. It doesn't need to be any fancy kind. It just has to be long enough to go between here, which I don't even know how long of a gap I need. Do I have a tape measure in here? I don't even know where my tape measure is at. Where's my tape measure at? I don't know. Oh shoot, one second. I forgot to take my meds. One second. Oops.
They come out.
Hey.
They are small.
What is it? There we go. Forgot to take that. There we go. Little guy is super talkative today. I forgot to take my medicine. Home. If you're wondering for an update, left arm all the way up, right arm still 90. Hi David. Everyone say hi, David. Yeah, I forgot to take my... I gotta get used to taking... Is that for the... No, it's for the fact my right arm doesn't move, and I can't go up higher than this. So left arm, oh, all the range of motion. Right arm... Man, with my right arm only able to go this high, I don't think Elon will hire me. Okay. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. So where were we at in the actual manual? So we did a little detour at the beginning of stream here to install the parts that we installed yesterday, but the new version of the part for index support. Also, here's the scratch on the frame. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can see it. I put the scratch on the frame, so it's the frame is marked. So what else? Okay, yeah, let's carry on with the build from where we left off yesterday. So while I find where we're at, don't forget, if you haven't entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, link in the video description. Enter for your chance. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you do want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Best way to support the channel. So again, this is a rebuild. So this was already a built Trident. We're rebuilding it into an R2 Trident with index support. So that means the frame was already assembled, so we didn't have to reassemble the frame. I just left the frame as is. The only thing we had to change was we had to rotate this one rear extrusion here with the rail, because the rail is now on the side instead of on the front. So we just rotated that 90 degrees. I haven't installed the motors yet because we will be using LDO long shaft motors. LDO is sending me an R2 upgrade kit. So we will be using the upgraded motors for that, along with some other gubbins. So we might run into some parts where it's like, shoot, I don't have the part. We'll deal with that when we get to that. You didn't win at Polypalooza. I mean, you can win some polymaker filament tonight, or you can guarantee be a winner. All you have to do is pick out whatever you want on the Polymaker site, link below. If you've never purchased from Polymaker before, use code Canuck, you'll save 15% and help support the channel with the affiliate link. And what you do is you put everything that you want in a cart, and then you enter your credit card information or your parents' credit card information with their permission. And then magically, the stuff you wanted will show up at your house in a couple business days. It's magic and debt. I wish I had the Jaka, how do you, Jakku? Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it, Jakku? The debt button. I love watching those videos that he's doing, and every time like, debt! Or whatever that sound effect is for the debt in his videos. Okay, so last stream we got the gantry installed. We had to do a little detour today to modify some of these parts. So gantry is installed. So I think we're on to the Z. I think we're on to the Z now. Comes from a Sonic game. Okay. Oh yeah, it's like the chows, isn't it? The chows, I think, or something. The real friends is the real winner is the friends you made along the way. Exactly. We're all friends here. Okay, let's build a Z. A Z, a Z, a Zood. Okay. So we're gonna have to do a bunch of heat setting. So let's get these parts over here. And let me find the parts that are depreciated. So you're depreciated. Goodbye. I mean, these parts are all appreciated, but they've been depreciated because, yeah, you stay there. You go over here. These are yeah. So if you want to know the difference, right hand is bad. This is the standard part. This is the part for index. Notice how the geometry is ever so slightly different. It's because the bed is shifted back ever so slightly on index. Simple as that. Because the tool head sits out a little bit further than a stock Voron tool head, like a stealth burner. So move the bed back a little bit, which is one of the things that the R2 revision allows you to do. It allows you to shift the bed back with different mounts. So then that way, we could take more advantage of print volume. Simple as that. Stopped at the motor mounts. Yeah. Yeah, we put these guys in. But I skipped this part, so we got to do this. So we got to put a bunch of heat sets in. So let's find these parts and do some heat sets. So we're gonna need you. Turn my heat set iron on. I'm gonna need, gonna need you. Okay. And then we're gonna be doing a lot of heat sets on this. I got, ooh, an M5 heat set too. Ooh, the big boy. Is there a separate repo for the index parts? They are not out yet. Steve will be putting them up, I think, on his personal GitHub. The index compatible parts are not Voron, okay? They are a mod. Now, the guy who designed this mod is a member of the Voron team, but going index on a Voron is not official. It is a mod. Darby Dragons, it is a mod, okay? So yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but they will be on Steve's GitHub. They won't be on the official GitHub. And I'm sure there will be links to them everywhere and whatnot. If you're watching this in the future, hopefully, if I remember correctly, I will add a link to the GitHub, to the files, at some point. Like, who knows, maybe Bontech will have a link to them on the index page or on the index GitHub. I don't know. But there we go. We got heat sets in that. Decapitated? They've been decapitated? Who's been decapitated? The part's been decapitated? There we go. So those are installed. And then an M5 heat set goes in there. Wait, how does this attach? Oh, that just screws in there. Okay, so an M5 heat set. Remember, you got to use the special size M5 heat sets. Is this real life? No, it's this is Patrick. The M5 heat sets take a lot of heat to sink in. There we go. Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Yeah, but let's be honest, reality kind of sucks. Right? You wake up, you go to work, you pay taxes. Taxes suck. Nobody wants to pay taxes. Okay, so now we're installing that with an M36 button head cap screws. So M36 button head cap screws. And this part is just screwing into plastic, so don't overdo it. It's just a cover plate for aesthetics. So anytime you're screwing in something that doesn't have like an actual locator and there's multiple screws, get all your screws started first. That will locate it and then screw it in the rest. Felt like benefit? Yeah, like I'm one of those people that I don't mind paying taxes as long as I benefit, right? Why are only 70 likes? I don't know. Everyone liked the smash button. Hey, if you've entered to win some filament from Polymaker and you didn't like the smash button, that means you took the time to scroll down and fill out a form, but you passed the little thing that looks like this and you didn't click it. And I'm not going to say entering or liking the smash button increases your chance of winning. But now that I've mentioned it, are you really going to risk it for the biscuit? Okay, so we've done that. And by the way, if you're going through the manual, anytime you see a little heart like this, that means it's an accent part. I really like that they do that. I really like that they do this in the manual because it's easy to know which color to look for. Okay, so we've done this yesterday. So we skipped ahead yesterday a little bit and we installed those. Don't lose your carriage. If you lose your carriage, you're gonna lose your balls and you don't wanna lose your balls. Okay. So we've done that. We've clicked those in. That's that. That's that. So we've done that. We've done that. This was all yesterday. Okay, now we're back to these ones. Okay. You got to think of taxes like a Costco membership, right? Everyone pays a Costco membership because it allows you to take advantage of you're pooling your wealth. You're pooling your resources. Right? Not everyone needs a Costco membership, but you know, a lot of people get a Costco membership, get the executive membership, but they don't spend enough to save enough. But for some people, it's worth it. Plus, you know, there's the whole socioeconomics of rising tide raises all ships and all that stuff that I subscribe to. Because, you know, with social programs, you have less people that are hungry. Less people that are hungry, less people stealing. Less people stealing, less need for cops. And hey, you could put more money towards education and stuff like that. You know how it is. Everybody says you're not allowed to go to Costco alone. I love Costco, and Costco loves me. We got a new Costco opening up soon. Well, they're building it right now. Our Costco is so old, it used to be a price club. Like, I don't even know if anyone here even knows what that was. But our Costco was so old, it used to be a price club. Okay, and we're putting more of these on. When I was young, yeah, Price Club was another competitor to Costco, I believe, and then they just kind of merged. And where the hell is my 150 IRS hot? You want to know what's hilarious, David? The Costco hot dog combo in Canada is still the same hot dog, and it's the same size pop, and it's $1.50 Canadian. So the Costco hot dog combo is actually cheaper in Canada than it is in the US because it's $1.50 here, but it's $1.50 Canadian. Whereas in the States, it's $1.50 in Yankee Doodle dollars. So it's actually a better deal. It is one of the few things that's actually cheaper in Canada than the US. So how about dem apples? I'm moving to Canada. I mean, Cocoa Press North. I don't know. We like chocolate up here in Canada. The local dispensary that I purchased my herbal-based products from, they really like chocolate, 3D printed, the idea of 3D printed chocolate. You know what, I'm gonna skip ahead. I'm gonna do the other one too at the same time. I'm breaking the workflow. I'm doing the other one at the same time too. No medical bankruptcies. Yeah. The fact that I went to the doctor, got my shoulder checked out, diagnosed with frozen shoulder, got prescription medication and physiotherapy, and so far I am out exactly $0. is really nice. And I do not want to know how much my son's medication would cost in Canada, or if I had to deal with American insurance. I know a couple American YouTubers, like in our little sphere of 3D printers, 3D printing content creators. I know I've spoken to a couple of them, and it's like, oh, I pay this much a month for health insurance, and I'm like, bruh, that sucks. Now, to be fair, my wife has health insurance through work, so I leech off that for like the stuff that isn't covered under OHIP, but still. There we go. Man, I really love these colors. I am so digging these colors. I need an IKEA sticker. I need a proper like IKEA sticker to put on the door. Also, I need to get doors for this. I need to get a clicky clack door for this. I'm gonna have to build a clicky clack door for this. Okay, so don't fully tighten, so I need to get these off. Check your pay stub. That's what you paid. Yeah, oh, I know. The tax rate, like the taxes include healthcare, but it's less because it's a communal thing. Like when I worked at the shop and I went down to our shop in Alabama, and I was talking with some of our employees down there, and we were talking, healthcare came up because it's just a thing, and they're like, you know, I pay this much on my paycheck on taxes. And I'm like, well, I pay more in taxes, but my taxes include my health care. Whereas your taxes plus what you have to pay for your health care costs more overall. Well, it's not being taxed. Well, yeah, but you're still paying more overall. Tomato, potato. Okay, which one is this? This is this one, I think. Which one? Which I don't think it matters. They're all the same. Okay, so yellow on the bottom. Okay, yellow on the bottom. Which one is this? It's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so that one, that. And then it's M312s and then lock nuts. Okay, so M312s. And do I have lock nuts? Uh-oh. Do I have lock nuts? M3 lock nuts. I do, good. I do. These are M312s, the backs. And then it screws up from the bottom? Yeah. And then, do I have one of these that fit? I gotta have one of these that fits. Anyways, let's try and get off this convo because I know some people really don't like when we go down that rabbit hole of a topic on the stream. Today is Happy Fun Printer Building Day. Is this the right size? No, I think it's M5.5. Are you the right size? I think you're the right size. Yeah. So this is going to be a little awkward. See, so that goes there. You go up and over. So don't fully tighten. For best results, do not fully tighten. So the reason we use lock nuts here is because you kind of want the nut to float a little bit in here, because that way, if you have it too tight and it's not lined up, you get Z wobbles. So if you let it float ever so slightly, you kind of don't have Z wobbles. So you have to use a lock nut because you can't properly torque it. So what I end up doing usually is I basically just like finger tighten it until the moment it just stops. Like, there we go. So that way it can kind of float around a little bit if it needs to hopefully not have Z wobbles. Jabberwocky look ugly? It don't look that ugly. I don't mind a Jabberwocky. There we go. Plus, gravity preloads it. So even if you do have a little bit of clearance, the weight of the bed preloads it and gets rid of the slop. So we do that. And then, so that's the other one. And then we put that in the other one. So let's do that. Do I like it? I mean, it works. It's a tool head. I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to a tool head, does it hold the hot end? Does the printer work? Does it do what it needs to do? If yes, that's good. I prefer the A4T style tool heads though, just because they are a lot simpler to work on. Tool heads like the Jabberwocky and the ant head and whatnot, I think they're a little too complicated. Like, I like the simplistic tool heads where it's like, oh, I need to get the hot end out because I have a really hard jam. It's like 3 screws and it just comes out. You don't have to disassemble it like a whole amount like some other tool heads. So, go to its finger tight and back it off just like an 1/8. Just enough that it can float. The A4T is super sturdy. Yeah, like this is the main body of an A4T right here. It's one solid chunk. So it's a solid piece. I like it. Okay, so those are those two. And then we do the other one too. The wrong hot end cowl. Isn't it just snap in and you can just replace it? Like, isn't the hot end cowl like just this interior piece? Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, you got to reprint this whole part again. I mean, that's the thing. There has to be something that is a critical component. Like, here's the thing. If you make it too modular, then you're taking apart everything every time. I mean, most people aren't swapping hot ends around too often, so it's not a huge deal. But if it's like a machine that you're going to be testing a lot with, not that people really test like they used to. Like, it's kind of weird thinking back, like, to some of the 3D printing content creators that I still watch, that you still know. And it's like, back in the day, their videos were all like, oh, this is the new hot end. We're testing the new hot end. We're testing these new hot, like, and now that whole kind of, like, nobody really tests stuff anymore. Nobody's building stuff anymore. Nobody's modding. Nobody's doing modding guides anymore. Everything's just kind of become, you know, maybe swap out a hot end in a printer. That's about it. There we go. We're gonna get the mods for the index. Steve builds when he releases them. They're not out yet. I got pre-production parts directly from the guy. Okay, so now we attach these. So we got Z rear, Z left, and Z right. And they attach with M3/8. Sweet. Easy peasy, lemoyny squeezy. camera over. There we go. So as always, just get the screws started, then go around and tighten them. Any prints for testing or any tips for testing dimensional accuracy? I mean, what do you need to test? Like, here's the thing: if it's a modern printer and it's built well and the frame is square, it should print dimensionally accurate. Like, there's two ways of dimensional accuracy you got to worry about with 3D printing. Motion dimensional accuracy. So how accurate your printer moves in the XYZ, which if the printer is square and you're using belts that are tensioned correctly and the belts aren't misaligned and everything's happy and good there, your printer should be dimensionally accurate mechanically. But then you also have material dimensional, okay? So if you're over extruding, your parts will all be a little bit fatter than they need to be. If you're under extruding, they might be a little bit thinner than they need to be. Certain filaments shrink more than others as they cool. It was very common back in the day that you would see people print a cube and then adjust flow from that. Like, it was weird. Like, people would change E-steps based, like they would print a calibration cube, measure the cube, and it's supposed to be like 20 millimeters and they're measuring 20.2 millimeters. So they changed the E-steps of their motion system. And it's like, bro, what the F are you doing? Well, my printer is printing too big. Okay, but is that the printer or is that your filament? Is that your extruder? Are you over extruding and everything you print is an extra 0.1 millimeters wide on each side because you're over extruding? Well, changing your E-steps ain't gonna fix that, because now, you know, over 20 millimeters, it's now accurate, but now when you're over 40 millimeters, now you're undersized. Under 80 millimeters, you're way undersized because you're compensating for a dimensional accuracy using the wrong method. And that kind of shit was super common back in the old days of 3D printing, where like people would just kind of go off of this weird tribal knowledge about a lot of shit, and you would end up with like lots of weird situations like that. So, like, if you want to make sure your printer is moving dimensionally accurate, okay, very easy way if you got the equipment. Indicator. Slap an indicator on it. Tell it to move 20 millimeters forward, tell it to move 20 millimeters back, and see if it actually is moving the correct amount. If your printer is mechanically moving correctly, then anything else for print accuracy is flow, for the most part. You obviously have to make sure your E-steps are good, because if your E-steps are off, then your flow calculation's not correct. So you need to tell, when you tell your printer to extrude 100 millimeters of filament, it extrudes exactly 100 millimeters of filament dimensionally. And then once that's good, then you could start messing around with flow rates. It's just so many ways of doing things back in the day were just kind of like, yeah, it would fix the problem, but not the correct way of fixing the problem, and it would cause other problems. So anytime I saw like a video or somebody on like a forum or Discord like, oh, you know, just adjust your E-steps if your cube is too small, I just want to like pull my hair out and be like, the F you doing? It's like, put it this way, for the CNC people, imagine if you cut out a cube with you put a 1/2 inch end mill in your tool, in your cutter, and you tell your CNC to cut a 1 millimeter or 10 centimeter cube. Okay, it cuts out the cube and you measure it. And you're like, oh, hey, it's off. Well, I got to adjust my E-steps. Well, is it the E-steps in your machine? Or have you checked your cutter? Is your cutter undersized? Is there slop in the system? Like, there are so many variables that affect dimensional accuracy, and you have to go through them one by one before you get to the end. And any one of those things along the way could be what's causing the problem. So. Yeah, skew is the thing. That's what I mean. Like, you have to make sure it's, especially with Core XY. If you have a belt, your belts are supposed to be parallel and perpendicular, okay? Belts in a Core XY system, other than like, you know, the little bits that go around the motors and whatnot during the actual runs, they need to go straight. So if your belts are supposed to be like this, coming to the tool head, but one of them's like this on an angle, well, guess what? Remember Sakatoa? Remember sine law? And like, you know, oh, if your belts are on an angle and they're not straight, so when the printer thinks it's moving, it's moving this much on this dimensional length, but because it's now on an angle, the actual carriage is not moving the same amount of distance, and now you thought you moved this amount, but you really moved this amount because you thought this was down here, and oh my god. This isn't really as big of a problem with Core XY. This was more of a bed flinger problem, because some bed flingers would have missized pulleys and whatnot. It does become a problem on Core XYs if you belt up your printer wrong and you run a belt over like some plastic. Then it'll have a problem. Ask me how I know. You went to school with that Sakatoa too? I thought he was Greek. I thought he was Greek. There we go. Sufficient over extrusion can, yeah, if your first layer is over extruding, it'll look like yours. There's so many variables. There are so many variables. That's why I always say 3D printing is an imperfect science. And if you are chasing perfect prints, you're gonna go crazy. 3D printing is very much get it as good enough as you need and just kind of roll with it. Like, oh, you're post-processing your parts and you're sanding them and you're painting them and you're putting Bondo on it and whatnot. Well, then you probably don't care if your first layer is a little over extruded. I'd rather spend the time, you know, doing stuff with my printer than tuning my printer. But to each their own. If you are one of those people that you are chasing the most perfect prints in the world, then yeah, you probably are gonna spend more time. But I, like someone like me, I'm firmly a good enough type person when it comes to this stuff. A second, let me, this is getting annoying. Can I just kind of go in there and deal with you later? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So we've installed all those. Now we need to install that guy with M36s. So this guy is our belt attachment. I think that goes like this. Yeah, it goes right there. So this is actually pretty cool. Instead of having to reprint the entire part for mounting your Z belt, so if you have a two screw Z belt or a 3, instead of having a completely different part, it's just this little insert that you just screw in, and it's a cover plate, so you can easily swap it out. Fell out towards back. Yeah, there was a bunch of M5s underneath with hammerheads that were holding in stuff that I took out, and I never really took them out. So as they fall out, they fall out. There we go. Plus, this way it allows you to have it mounted over the screws. Like, you wouldn't be able to do this without the cover plate too. He'll eat the M5 later. Where is it? I am hungry. Dude, I made barbecue pork kebabs with roasted potatoes. Like I took potatoes, took some russet potatoes, I chopped them in half, I stab the inside a bit to kind of like loosen it up a bit. Then I put butter, garlic, salt, pepper, a little bit of Parmesan, and some parsley. And then I closed the potato back up. I wrapped it in aluminum foil, cooked those on the barbecue while I got the pork kebabs all ready. And then I cooked the pork kebabs. It was, oh my God, it was so good. And I wanted to eat more, but I was allowed 2 kebabs and 1 potato. And that was it because of the stupid diet I'm on. And nothing is worse than finishing a meal going, I want more. I have more right there that I can eat, but I can't because I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm sticking to the diet. Ebola is worse. Yeah, you don't want to get Ebola. Ebola. Oh, now we got to put the motors in. Sweet. So now we got to flip it over. Before you flip over your printer, you're going to look at it and you're going to make sure nothing's going to fall out. Okay. So I don't need this anymore. By the way, thank you, Linus, for your lctstore.com Velcro zip ties. They're really good for preventing your carriages from flying off the rail. So thank you, Linus. I have to thank him, he gave them to me. And he gave them to me when I went to LMG. They weren't there and I took a bunch. So these ones I just kind of put in. So these I'm taking out because I just kind of put these in at the end of stream just to get a view. A look. It's all coming together though. It's all coming together. Okay, so flip you this way. Oh shoot, I gotta take this panel out. And flip you this way. I love how many like little scraps of print that are falling out of the frame every time I flip it over. Ooh, an M5. Okay, so you drop it in. Apply lubrication. Well, these are, I think these are the Teflon or whatever nuts, palm nuts. So I don't think I have to put lubrication on them. And then I do believe these face inward. Yeah, they face inward. And then the rear faces outward. Okay, let's drop it like it's proverbially hot. You're calling a palm? Oh. So these are Physek motors and lead screws and all that, so. What happened to the frozen shoulder? Is it better now? No, it doesn't hurt anymore. It's past the hurting point now, so now it's just range of motion. So left arm, all the way up, all the way down. Right arm, I can't go up higher than that. It just, I physically cannot move this arm up higher than that. Like, it's like there's a limit switch. It just stops. Like, nope. Oh, damn it, that was stupid. That was stupid, now it hurts. Now it hurts. But like, just comparison, again, left arm. M316s. Hopefully I have a lot of M316s. Are these all M316s? Bruh. Yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah, it sucks. It is, as the French would say, le fucked. Okay, and these you just screw them in from the bottom. Okay. Get them all started first. Ow, that hurt. I should not have done that. At least I can still T-pose. I can T-pose. I've actually been doing stretches to try and help it a bit. When it first, like the first couple days, I couldn't even T-pose. I could like Y-pose. I can't even T-pose to assert dominance. What is going on with my life? What do you do? I didn't tear it. It's not a tear. Look it up. It's called frozen shoulder. An injury can trigger it, but it's also something that can just happen. It can just happen. I mean, to be fair, all weekend I was working on the Deku tree, which hopefully I can actually finish that video tomorrow, now that I can actually kind of move my arm again. But like I was working on the Deku tree, so I was mixing concrete, I was doing concrete stuff, I was moving some heavy bags around. So I was doing stuff, but like my son's 45, 50 pounds, I pick him up all the time. So it's like picking stuff up isn't exactly something I don't do. So it's kind of weird, because it's like nothing I did, like I did nothing that I did it and then I went, oh, ow, I hurt myself. Like nothing I did felt like I hurt myself. It just kind of, body's like, nope, oh, frozen shoulder. Like the doctor's like, heck, you could just sleep weird and trigger it. So. Mixing concrete. I mean, I took the little guy kayaking last week, so that could have done it. A whole bunch of stuff could have did it, but it's like, these are all things that shouldn't cause a serious injury. Re-stretch after the activity. Yeah, I don't really stretch. I'm not a stretcher. I don't just stretch. Does age play? Yes. Apparently the most common demographic to suffer from frozen shoulder is postmenopausal women. Every time I look up anything on frozen shoulder, they're like, yeah, it's very common among postmenopausal women. And I'm like, well, I'm not postmenopausal. And last I checked, I wasn't women. So, yeah. Although, to be fair, they're like, yeah, it's like for every one guy that has it, 1.4 women have it. So it's like a 60-40 split, or like a 35-65 split on who gets it between men and women. So it's not like, you know, it's only women who get it. I don't watch TikTok. Try sneezing after 30 or 40, yeah. I mean, my mom's 62, and like, just go visit her and be like, oh, yeah, okay, your leg doesn't work. It's like, yeah, just shit happens as you get older. And she's pretty active. Like, I tore, what was it, an intercostal muscle. So like the muscles that connect your ribs together, I tore one of them a couple years ago. No joke. I was in the line at Tim Hortons getting coffee before going into work. My lunch bag fell off the passenger seat. I reached over to get it and I tore a muscle in my chest. So for like a week, I couldn't breathe deeply and I couldn't like bend over. Getting old sucks. Okay, so that's all installed. So we've done all of these. We're good there. We kind of did this part already with the Feetses because we did that first because we had the motors, we had the electronics already installed from the previous build because this is a rebuild. So I've already done the feet. So we're skipping ahead there. And now we're on the gantry. Damn. Let's do a little skipping around. Let's install some skirting. Let's install some skirts while we have it like this. I put all the skirts right here. Let's do some skirting. Why not? I mean, we're here. Trying to figure out which one goes. Yeah, that goes there. Oh, these are the front ones. Yeah, so that goes there. Yeah, because the front ones have the Voron logo. Oh, this is gonna look so good. I love these colors. I love refrigerator. Okay, I need some M3 T-nuts and M3 8s. I wish I knew where my M2.5 hex Allen key went because it has a ball on it and it would be super helpful to have right now. Nope. I went on an adventure and I don't know where it went. Where's my bin of random Allen keys? You'll work. You'll work. Okay. And I'm gonna need my elevation assistance device because this printer is a little on the big side. There we go. Been watching 2x speed for about 30 minutes. Taylor is 20% is something. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, is it a good thing or a bad thing when I'm at 200% speed? Like, am I just like cuckoo crazy? Also, why do we not have access for the stupid M3 screws here? You gotta go at it with a ball end Allen key and then they always get stuck half the time. How are we still not put access holes for these M3 screws that hold these on? I know it's a nitpick, but I've like been annoyed about it since like the first time we did skirts like this. Tell you how the index front idler pieces are installed on the wrong sides. What do you mean on the wrong sides? How are they installed on the wrong sides? Are they supposed to stick out? Or I mean, I just kind of threw them on so I wouldn't lose them because I'm not putting them on today. Like I'm not putting the things on today. Yeah, because I just threw on these guys just to hold them for now so I don't lose them. Half the reason I'm putting the skirts on now is just because I have electronics in. It just kind of keeps the electronics from getting... keeps all the wires in and whatnot. Keeps stuff from rolling underneath. Swap size. The extrusion should be biased towards the top. Oh! Okay, I see what you mean. I thought the parts were universal. I guess not. I will fix that after I get these skirts on. I'm gonna have to find fans, I think. I don't think I have the right size fans for this. But I think the Physec fans that were in the kit kind of died. So I may have to source a different fan. I will say these colors are great. I really like that I went with these colors. If all goes well, you should be seeing this machine at, if all goes well, you may be seeing this machine at 3D Printopia. If all goes well. Because I'm going to be driving to that, and there might be a Voron booth, and if there is a Voron booth, they're going to need printers, and since I'm driving, I might bring this. And to make Steve happy, I'm not going to install the bottom plate, because I don't think I have a 350 bottom plate for this. I'd have to go looking. I don't think Physec sent me it. I mean, considering I had to replace the doors because they sent me the wrong size doors. So I gotta find doors for this. Actually, I'm gonna have to find a clicky clack door for this. Come on. There we go. Big guy along the back. Yep. And before you get stopped at the border. I mean, they didn't care when I brought a Gundam last year. I kind of figure if Uncle Sam's okay with me bringing a Gundam into the US. I think they just went, ooh, gun. And it's America, so they were okay with that. But if I'm okay crossing the border with a Gundam, should be okay with 3D printers. At least that's the logic I'm working off of. How accurate that is, I don't know. We'll find out. You might want to do less printers, more content creators are considered working now. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm displaying at an event. People go all the time to the States for events, so. I haven't had any issues yet, The last time I went over, they were a little bit more annoying with the questions, but I still got a cross fine. Like, as long as I'm not being paid to be at the event by an American, like, as long as I'm not, like, the videos are sponsored, so I have to lock in a sponsor still for 3D Printopia. But, when it comes to, like, a work visa, as long as I'm not taking the job of an American, I'm good. So, I'm going there to participate in the event and record videos for personal use, and those videos may have an ad read in them, but that's my own thing. Yeah, I gotta flip the fronts around, which I'll do in a second. I'm just putting this. I'm not putting the fan parts on because I legit gotta figure out if I even have the right fans for this. I may have to buy a fan or buy some fans. And if I do, I'll get some quiet ones. Maybe get some Argiba fans for part cooling. Like, put it this way, I'm okay to go to an event as long as, like, if 3D Printopia were to pay me to talk at the event, I wouldn't be able to go without a work visa. Put it that way. There we go. And then I still got to figure out what I'm doing for a screen on this. But no biggie. Okay. Oh, take chunks right out of my desk. Why not? Okay, so I gotta fix these. So they gotta be front side biased. Okay. Why am I trying to screw this like a Neanderthal when we have power tools? Okay, so you said, what did you say? It's got to be high side bias. Swap the extrusion, should be top side biased. Okay. So that way. Okay. Dropped a link for a news article in the Discord. Let me see. Just warns influencers on tourist fees at Canuck. I don't need a visa. Although tourist visa allows, so here's the thing, a tourist visa allows into that, but Canadians don't need a tourist visa to go in the States. So I'm not violating a visa. I mean, like, if I have to apply and get I don't want to have to, the problem is I don't want to have to deal with the extra paperwork of getting like a work visa for something as stupid of, oh, I'm going to be at an event. Damn influencers, they ruin things for influencers. Higher. I can lift it up to 90 degrees. I can't go higher. And this is at the end of the day, so I've been doing stuff all day, so it's loosened up over the day. When I woke up this morning, like I could only do about that. So after a whole day, it's a bit down on. I mean, with the current regime in the US, I'm not surprised. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh my God. This looks so good. I'm loving these colors. I'm loving these colors. Okay. So now we are on to XY joints. So I can't do the carriage because I don't have the mount for the carriage, so we can't do the carriage. So we can't belt it up. Am I doing drag chains? No, I'm doing umbilical. So we're not doing drag chains because we're doing umbilical. How did Steve do his? What did Steve use for his XY management? I'm basically copying Steve's Trident for this kind of shit. What did Steve do? He just has an umbilical. Because he's got the CPAP. I don't think I'm doing CPAP. I don't think I'm doing CPAP. So I don't need umbilical. I don't think I'm doing CPAP, so. Okay. Elephant noises. Okay. So now, more heat sets. Turn the heat set iron on. Oh God, look at all these heat sets. So what I do need to do is actually hit some of this stuff with a hot iron. To get rid of some of these stress marks. So I'll do that quickly here. While I have it all out, might as well. Do they need to be different sizes? Yes, because we don't use M5 hex nuts anymore. We use M5 heat sets. This light blue, this blue really shows the stress marks, so I'm just kind of... There we go. Good, good. Yeah, I've found the satin PI bed from Prusa, and with the Vision Miner on it, it does like leaving a bit of stress marks. So, quick little hit with the heat gun, and it goes away. It's crowded with all the M5, and the others require M5. Yeah. And by the way, if you keep wondering what I'm doing over on this side of the camera, it's my heat set press is over here. Totally not doing lines. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 big ones, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious which ones are the heat sets for the most part. So while I'm putting these heat sets in, don't forget, if you haven't yet entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. Right now they do have a little bit of an issue on the back end with their email. So if you do win, just be aware it might be a little bit before you get your email. And if you have had issues collecting your prize from previous streams or you haven't received the email, just DM me on Twitter or on Discord, and we'll get it taken care of. Because right now we're waiting on them to clear up an issue on their back end. So it'll get resolved, it'll get fixed. But while you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hey, if you want to help support the channel, content I create and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. It's the best way to support the channel. Which one is this? That one and that one. I'm installing M5 heat sets with the M3 bit on the press because I don't want to swap back and forth. And it works, it just takes a minute for that heat to transfer. And if you're worried about getting it straight, the trick is push it in almost all the way and then flip it over and push it on a hard flat surface like a 1, 2, 3 block, and that'll push it in flat. And then when you're done, look how clean and professional that looks. Look how clean that looks. Look how clean that looks while I try and flip it around in my hand without burning myself. So it's 5 M3s and then 2 M5 nuts. As a fine sage warrior once said, that is a lot of nuts. A bolt head. Yep, there's a bunch of different tricks to doing it. I mean, if you, like, I don't have a picture, but on my heat set press here, I just keep this 1, 2, 3 block on it. And then, so I just do it and then I flip it over and mush it flat. Rexit82 gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciated. Thank you. There we go. Ooh, we have locating screws. Fancy. So that one has a cutout. And then a locating screw. M38 locating screw. Goes in there. I do like these locating screws. So, Steve, if you're here, how come we went with locating screws instead of just like a printed part for indexing? Is it just the screws are just more reliable to guarantee accuracy kind of thing? So, M540 button head. So here's the thing, you need 4 of these. And I think I only have 2. One. Correction, I only have 1. I have 1 M540. Let's go digging. See what we got in the inventory. Oh, M5 hex button heads. It only goes at the M530. Frick. M540 button heads. I mean, I have M540 socket heads. Less dependent on print settings. Makes sense. 541. Yeah, because these are all... Okay, so... Can I steal some? Let's take a look at them. Are there any M540s in here? No, these are all M540 socket heads. Nope. What about over here? Oh, oh. Negativo. No. Where would I have? Oh, yeah, I could steal them from this, I think. Let's see, can I steal? No. Can I steal them out of here? Your socket heads. Maybe I could steal from this. Okay, I might be stealing them from a printer. 1 second. We might be stealing. Let's find out. What size are you? We might be able to steal these because I have M540 socket heads, but I need button heads. So we might be able to steal them. Because Stealth Changer Boy here has a weird non-standard upper Z idler, and I can't remember which ones it is. And I do believe they are M540s. So I can swap them, and it's not a big deal. Let me see here. Are these the right ones? Ooh, yeah, these are the right ones. Sweet. So yep, so I just have to swap these over. Okay, I need an Allen key for these. Okay, so we're going on a little adventure here. 1 second. So I'm gonna have to steal 3 screws out of this printer. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you probably shouldn't be stealing screws out of a printer in this way, but whatever. As my good Fred once said, YOLO. Try not to drop any of these tools while I do this. There we go. Okay, so now I need one more. How do I get to that one? Need one more of these. Yep. Okay, give me a second here. Is it cannibal? I'm not a cannibal. I'm simply swapping components. I'm swapping out screws from one printer into another. Nothing is being... Like, if I were to steal your arm and give you a better robot arm, would that be cannibalism? No. Everyone wants bitchin' robot arms. Ow, Charlie horse, this is super awkward. I mean, it's a good thing I didn't put panels on this printer yet. Would have made this a lot more awkward. Okay, so you go there. I mean, good thing I'm not on camera because this is super awkward view that you guys are seeing right now. There we go. Come on, come on. There we go, come on. There we go, okay. Whew, okay. Can I get up? I can get up. Ah! Ow, there we go. Okay, behold, 5 M540s. That was very easy and it didn't require any amount of work, and I'm turning the air conditioner on for no reason. Reassignment, exactly. The screws have been reassigned. Okay. Do need to get some paper towels right here. So now, bearing stack time. We got that guy. So we put, you go through there. And then we do a bearing stack. So last time we did this, we ran out of shims. So I gotta find a bunch of shims. These are not shims. Uh-oh. These are washers. So I think we gotta go through that one to find the shims. Yeah, these are not shims, these are washers. I think these ones are shims. We're gonna need you. Gonna need you. Probably gonna need you guys. So this is the, if you're wondering what's going on, this is the bag of screws, or the box of screws from the previous build. Yeah. So these are all the screws that came out of the Trident when we rebuilt it. So all the components, there should be enough in here. I just got to find them. One shim. Two shim. Hopefully I have enough. I mean, worst case, you just stack washers. But I think the washers I have are like half spec. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. $10. And if you guys are very lucky, we'll do a stream where we sort all these screws. But only if you behave. Only if you behave. Okay, so bearing stack. So I know some of these bearings are a little dirty. Because these are, again, reused bearings from the previous build. So give them a little wipe off of any gunk. I would, if this was the old days, run them through the ultrasonic, but I don't feel like re-greasing them all. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, good old-fashioned bearing stack. So 1, 2, 1. And then that one gets that. So this other one is the one with the notch. And then that's that. Line up notch to notch. And the M540 screw should be snug but not tight. The idler must spin freely. Okay. So that's here. Moves freely. Bing, bang, boom. And now the other M540 goes through there, and we have a toothed idler. So hopefully this one from the previous build is still in good condition and we can still use it. So we will see in a second. Is this supposed to float like crazy? Because this floats like crazy. I mean, are there supposed to be washers on top and below this? Because it floats like crazy. It's supposed to float? Okay. Yes, like yes, it's supposed to float, or yes, there's supposed to be washers. Okay, the bearing stack should not float, the tooth idler should. Okay. Yeah, so the bearing stack does not float, the tooth idler does. There we go. Okay. Plain accent part, XY end stop part. So we got the plain accent part here because we are not putting in an end stop pod. So we got that. Use this accent part when running an end stop PCB. So we're not running an XY end stop because we're using the tool head will have the X end stop and the Y end stop is going to be on this one. And then M340s. So let's get some M340s. And that goes. It has space for both the gates and the generic tooth idler, so a gates idler in there will float, but less than the generic idler. Okay. Plus, like, the belts will find their home. Right? That's kind of the idea. The belts kind of find their home. Oh, you even got little clearance in there for the screws that stick out the bottom. Very nice. That lines up there, and M36s. I love these little accent parts that we have on this now. I love how there's accent parts on this. I mean, it doesn't really... It just... We have accent parts. I love it. Little accent parts. Also, I think this actually makes it stronger because you have more top and bottom layers, essentially. Okay, so that idler spins freely, that one spins freely, and there is XY joint 1. Done. So now we do the same thing on the other one. So on this one, M38 locating screw, which is the inner one. Oh, on. M540. That goes through, oh, goes through that. We do ourselves a good old-fashioned Baron stack. Bing. Oh my freaking God. Holy fucking shit. Oh my. That is the biggest freaking spider I've ever seen out around here. Okay. I'm going to show you a spider. You have it when this is your spider warning. This is your spider warning. Okay. Just tab out. I'll tell you when you could tab in. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here's. And for reference, this is it inside a gloop jar. Just a wolf spider? Yeah, but the thing was, it was like right out of my field of view as it came scurrying across the floor. Like, I was just like out, just corner of the eye, just scurrying. So it triggered the oh shit response. I'm just like, da 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 da, oh shit. Yeah, the Aussies are like, wow, it's just a baby. It's just a baby. Do I have a lid for that jar? I don't know if I have a lid out here. Oh, I do. So let me try and Let me try and save this guy. Let me try and get him in the jar, and then I can put him outside. Oh my God, how am I gonna... Oh. Well, you lost a leg. Try and climb up the damn thing. Okay, well. That was interesting. Okay, back to work. That. Catch and release. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll be back in 1 second. Oh, it's dark out. You know what? I'll do that in the morning. It is pitch black out, and everyone's asleep. That's a big hole. Shoot, that's too big of a hole. Don't escape. There we go. There you go. Now you got air. I'll let you out in the morning. Okay. Scared it to death? Ah, whatever. I mean, the fact that it's alive is kind of surprising. We spray our house for spiders this time of the year, so he's probably hiding in the garage. That scared the crap out of me for a second there. Nothing is worse than, like, honestly, if you are a human, hearing something when you don't want to hear something and seeing something when you don't expect to see something are like the go-to human, like, yeah, we're gonna mess with this human, is like make a sound when they don't expect a sound or move something when they don't expect something to move. And it just messes up humanity. Rabies is worse. Dude, rabies is insane. Like, out of all the things that can, like, oh yeah, aneurysm, you just drop dead at any moment. It's like, well, yeah. Rabies? You do not F with rabies. If you are ever camping or you find a bat in your house or you think you were near a bat, go get a rabies shot. Like, you want to talk about horrors beyond your comprehension. Dying of rabies. Because you will get bitten by a mouse, a rat, a bat. I think it's a bat is the most common one. So, you know, you go camping, you wake up, oh, there's a bat in my tent. Okay, whatever. You look around, oh, I didn't get bit or anything. Or you find a bat in your house or whatever. And you just kind of move on with your life. And then a couple months later, 6 months, I think it takes like, could be up to like 3 years. You start like feeling muscle pains, a little bit of twitching, spasming, sweats. You go to the hospital, and next thing you know, you're hydrophobic, and you literally can't swallow water, and your brain starts turning to mush. And they're like, well, we can't even put you on painkillers because that won't work. And you're just gonna sit there and die in the most painful, agonizing death ever. There is no cure. There is nothing they can do. The moment you start feeling symptoms of rabies, you are a dead man walking. It is 100% fatal. There have been a few cases. I think there's only been one confirmed case of somebody getting rabies and not dying. And you notice how they don't talk about that person because they lived, but they lived. I think like it's called the Montreal Protocol. They basically put you in an induced coma and like freeze you and hope you don't die. And it's like, yeah, you wake up, you might wake up on the other side. There ain't much left up there. There ain't, as far as I'm aware, there ain't much left if you survive rabies. You are the person you know is either dead or gone. There is no coming out of it. So rabies is like the one thing you do not want. Like, there are videos, I think rabies is still pretty common in India, I believe. There are videos, and you can watch them if you want, of people in hospital in like India getting treated for rabies, in Africa too. And you look up the videos and it's like they're trying to drink water and their body is like forcefully rejecting their ability to drink water. You become hydrophobic. Your body rejects water. It's insane. Like it is like the worst way to go. Cause like the whole time too, it's like, shit, if I had just gotten a rabies shot, I would not be doing this right now. So yeah, if you think for whatever reason you have been exposed to rabies, or you find yourself, you wake up in a room and there happened to be a bat in there, or you were camping and a bat lands on you, don't take the chance. Go get a rabies shot. Just go. Just go. Like seriously. It is one of those things that you do not mess around with. I'm looking for spiders. Oh, she's actually doing good. Well, then she's extremely lucky. Yeah, rabies is, you do not F with rabies. I love these. Look how good these look. Look how good these look. Look at these. Look at them. Steve, you did a real good job on these. I'm loving the accent. I love how we have an accent now on our XY joints. I love it. I love it. I love refrigerator. Okay. So I cheated. I skipped ahead and I put that on. Assembled my work. Does this look like this? No, this is the other one. Does this look like this? It does. Oh my God, it spins. Okay. And now we got to put our extrusion on. So voila! Oh look, it's already pre-assembled. The joys of a rebuild. I'm gonna grease it up a bit more. Where'd I put my grease? My retirement grease! There we go. Okay, so how does this hold on? M510s, M516, and T-nuts. Is it 2 on the top, 3 on the bottom? Okay. And again, we do have titanium backers on this, just for the fact that Whopping Orchard was nice enough to send me titanium backers. So we have some. Okay. And I know I mispronounced that. I know it's not Whopping Orchard, but I can never remember the proper way to say it. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, So what do we need? We need M510s. So there's no point in doing these super tight yet because you're going to have to play around with them a little bit for alignment, for the spacing and whatnot. So just kind of get them in finger tight. Yeah, rabies will mess you up. They're like one of my like primal fears is getting rabies. Being a hero seems too much work. I know. Crime pays. You notice how like Peter Parker's always poor as shit? But Doc Ock's got money for robot arms. Spider-Man doesn't have robot arm money. And then what is it? M516s for the other ones. Rabies, not to be, what is that? Not to be confused with rabies, which is what you get when you get bees with frickin' laser beams. And then you also have, shit, I ruined the joke. Something bee rays, I don't know. Isn't there a barbecue sauce called something like that? Baby rays. Barbecue sauce or something? I don't know. Fair the arms were part of a research part. That is true. Something, something, power of the sun, in the palm of my hands. Okay, peel the tape off, so now we have that. Sweet baby rays. There we go. All right. So we've put each side on. We put this side on fully because we don't have the bridge because we're not doing chains. So now M312s. Okay. This build is going together pretty good, I must say, so far. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm jinxing myself. This is going together pretty fine so far. Okay, so now, get you. I have to play with the alignment a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's get these all, 4 in each one, just kind of started for now. Nothing tight. Dang it. Yes, this was the original orange, and it was orange main with what was it? It was orange main with orange main with natural ABS accents, or ASA. It was Big Papa Joey P. So it was the big Trident I had. But now, because we're rebuilding it, we're rebuilding it for Index, and Index is from Bondtech, and Bondtech is Swedish. So we are rebuilding it in the great patriotic Swedish colors of IKEA, which is blue and yellow. So I don't know what else would be blue and yellow. I don't think it's their flag. It's their IKEA. That's not a 12. Vault-Tec colors, Ukraine colors, Swedish flag colors. We all know it's IKEA colors. It is the great IKEA printer. Okay, so line it right up against the front here. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay. Oh, Invincible colors too. It could be Invincible themed. And actually, you know what? I think we kind of lucked out a little bit. I think we actually kind of lucked out a little bit because this has titanium backers on it, right? So this kit has titanium backers, and with titanium, they're anodized, and it's kind of like a random colors you get. Like there's kind of like a little bit to it. Oh, that is like square. There is no play there. That is. Oh, that is good. But yeah, look at the backers. The backers are almost like blue and yellow too. So we actually kind of lucked out with the backers being pretty close to the frame colors we went. So, like. Oh, that moves so good. That moves so nice. Oh man, I am so happy. This is going together way too good. I mean, it's a Trident. I mean, I could build a Voron with my eyes closed by this point. Okay, so we're not doing this because we're using an umbilical. So if not using an umbilical, use M510s, okay. Squaring the gantry. This random dude here has a pretty good video on it. You should totally watch his video. I got 182,000 views on this video? Heck yeah. The Voron Legacy is a modernized version to the original. Cool. Sweet, so that's what it looks like right now. So we can't belt it up because we don't have the tool head. So I can't belt it up yet. So skip all that. I mean, I could put the belts in, but there's no point. The double shear. I mean, we'll put on the double shear top. Why not? Yeah, we'll put the double shear top on. Just so we have it. The X-axis. Yeah, it's a kit. It's if you get backers, it comes in a kit of 3. Usually. So even if you don't use the double shear, the kit, like the printed parts, you have a dummy top. So if you don't want to do double shear, you can still put this on to get the accent, or this is the actual proper double shear. And then there's little printed clips you got to use, and they're also the right colors. So what do we got? An F695, sweet F695. How does this go in? Just goes in. Oh, I may want to reprint these. There's like a little, that's a bit annoying. The stupid seam line is kind of like, I gotta clean that up. Yep, okay, I gotta reprint those. Let's reprint those right now. Because I just broke them. Oops. Yeah, don't try and press fit it in air like I did, because it'll just shear, it'll just separate and break. So you probably should do it. Let me see if I do it on a flat surface, if it's better. Let me find something flat to push it with. Rip, yeah. Yeah, so just press fit it on something flat. Don't do it in the air. If you do it on something flat, you're good. It works fine. And then, oh my God, I can actually use the tool. Where is it? Where are you? Oh my God, I need to be able to use my tool. Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put it? Please tell me I have it still. I paid money for you. Oh, where did I put you? Where did I put you? I think I used you somewhere, and I don't know where I put it after. I have a tool. I have the right tool for this. Oh, you son of a bitch. Please tell me I actually have it. Where are you? It's got to be somewhere. I know I have it. I have it. I don't know where I put it. I used it at one point, and then I put it somewhere, and now I don't know where I put it. Where? It's probably inside my house somewhere, knowing my luck. Hey, I found a Revo nozzle. Dang it! Okay, I don't know where they're at. I have snap ring pliers. Like an actual proper set of snap ring pliers, and I don't know where I put it. Unless it's in here, maybe? Oh, the spider's still alive, so I didn't kill it. Are you in here? No. No. Nope. Nope. Dang it. That's disappointing. Well, I have snap ring pliers, but I don't know where they're at. So we'll have to use this pair of tweezers or something and just kind of make it work. There we go. So that is a proper one, installed properly. So let me go and print a replacement for the one I broke, because I'm a big dummy. STLs, Gantry, BA drive, cover bearing ×2. I will print 2 just in case. I do the same thing because, you know, why spend the money on 1 when you can do 2 or something? I don't know, whatever that line from contact is. Gyrate, 40%. Lines, 4 walls, 5 top, 5 bottom. Advanced. There we go. Can't you print them on the snap maker? Well, it's not enclosed. Plus, that one has yellow already on it. See, you can see the yellow right there. Send to connect. Core 1-1. Go. There we go. So, well, that's annoying. But we'll put one of the dummy ones in for now. Some poor layer adhesion. Yeah, I mean, I pushed and it broke. Okay, what holds it on? M3/6s. Like, I'm sure if you were to grab yours and do that in air, it would probably do the same. Okay. So, which way does this go? Curve towards the front. Seam line placement. There we go. I mean, this Firstman ASA, the yellow ASA, is a little old, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Oh, snap ring plier, snap maker, I get it. Funny joke. Funny joke. That is a pretty blue. It's LDO blue. It is, the color is straight up LDO blue ASA, or ABS. And then the yellow is legit just Prusament yellow. Prusament yellow ASA. So, put these in washers. Oh, don't want to lose these guys. I only have so many of these M5s. Wow, I have a lot of M5 washers on the ground. There we go. One of these days I should probably like pick up all the screws and everything that fall over the years. Okay. So we've installed that. Obviously there's no probe because we don't have a tool head. So that's that. The bed. Oh shit, the bed. Well, the bed's already assembled. I don't know where it's at. Where'd I put the bed? Did I bring the bed out to the garage? And I got the bottom plate. Did I bring? I could have sworn I brought the bed out to the garage. Maybe oh, the bed's still downstairs. The bed's still downstairs. Okay, we're not gonna have a Z end stop, so we don't gotta worry about any of that. The wagos. My wagos, I don't need that. Okay, so we gotta put this together, okay? So, we're gonna do the YouTube trick, okay? So, when I snap my hands, this will be together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, look, it's together. Joys of a pre-assembled printer. See, this is a good thing. When you rebuild your printer, you don't have to rebuild everything. Okay. So we have to do these. So we have to reuse these guys. So these were the old ones. And then these are the new ones. Wow, these are really thick. Like, why do these look so different? Even compared to like I mean, do these make the bed sit higher or lower, Steve? If you're still in chat. These make the bed higher or lower? Because like, just to put in perspective, here's, because index cooler is 10 millimeters so high. Oh, so it raises it up, okay. So just to compare, here is the R1 bed connector mount part thing. Here is the R2 index one. And just to compare, here's the normal R2 one. So, is a bit chunkier. So basically take these out and put them in there. Okay, easy peasy. Is it beer time? What time are we at? 10:30? It's beer time. An extra space for the bed to reach the nozzle. Makes sense. Do I want to grab a beer? Do I want to grab a beer? Beer 30? It is beer 30. If the beer medic says it's beer 30, I'm gonna go with the beer medic. So give me a second here. I don't think you have to grease these up, but I am going to put a little, just a little, just kind of, just give it a little, as the French would say, a dabadouya. Okay, I'm grabbing a beer. Smoke them if you got them. Drink it if you got it. What do we have? What do we even have? Do I have Land Shark? Oh no, I'm all out of Land Shark. Flaming Clear. Light beer. Just so you guys know, it's 110 calories. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do 110 calories. Ooh, that's good. And then you just put some M36 socket heads. Just enough to hold it in place. Drinking water. I mean, it's 4%. It is 4%, so it's not like American beer. It ain't no Bud Light. But it's not like a proper 5 to 6% like Canadian beer. And it is a tall boy. And I am leaving these orange parts underneath. You're not going to see them. Plus, I have a habit. It's a pattern. I don't know what you want to call it. But I make it a thing anytime I upgrade a printer. I purposely, I'm missing an orange clip. I'm missing a little orange clip that's supposed to go over this. I saw it on the floor, so it fell somewhere, and I just don't know where it went. To prevent it from rattling. Oh, there it is. Anytime I upgrade a printer, I make it a point to leave something from the original printer in it. So an inlet, a skirt panel, something. So like V2 number 26, my V2.4 I have in the basement that is currently running like tap and like a bunch of other mods and shit. That printer still has V2.0 parts in it. Now, to be fair, it's like a Bowden inlet and like some of the mounts underneath the hood for the electronics, but it is still running. It still has parts in it that were printed on my V1.5 back in 2018. So, printer of Theseus. Exactly. Oh my God, I actually pronounced it right. Printer of CC. Now I can't pronounce it again. Printer of Theseus. Now I'm thinking about it too much. Theseus. Printer of Theseus. There you go. Maybe it's like one of the, maybe it's like you know how people have like the Tourette's, where the more they think about it, the more they have a response or whatever. Maybe my my lisp is like that. The more I think about the fact I have a lisp and I go to say certain words, if I don't think about the word before I go to say it, I just say it right. I don't know. So I'm not going to bother actually installing the bed till later on, but we'll get the frame in. What time are we right now? We're 10:30. If it goes well, we should get the frame in. If we can get the bed frame installed, and then we'll put the bottom panel on, I'm happy to call it there for today. And then honestly, like we might work a little bit on Tuesday, but then like I can't really do much until Index shows up. Like there's really, like, the electronics are mostly wired up. I just got to plug the motors back in, plug the bed back in. Like, there's actually surprisingly little to do. I do need to source a clicky-clack door for this. I do need to get a clicky-clack door for this. We do have to build the top hat too, so I can build the top hat. I can get the parts printed and build the top hat. So I do have to do all that. Where are the Index parts located? To support Index on a Trident R2, you have these parts in the front. So your front idlers have an extra part to it, so you can mount your crossbar across. So it mounts there to there. We need to cut this down, it's too long. But you'll have a crossbar across here, a 15-15 crossbar. And then the bed mounts, these ones are different. They shift the bed back 5 millimeters and they shift the bed up 10 millimeters. So you can get more volume with the, you need the 10 millimeter raise to reach the Index tool head, because the Index tool head, the nozzle sits up higher than a stock Voron tool head. So you need to raise the bed up, and then to take advantage of more of the print volume because the nozzle sits further back on an index than it does on a Voron tool head. It shifts the bed back 5 millimeters. So the shifting the bed back 5 millimeters, you don't have to do. You would just lose 5 millimeters of print volume, but you do need to raise the bed. It's 8 millimeters back? Okay, so it's 8 millimeters back and 10 up. The 8 millimeters back, you don't need unless you really want all the print volume, but you need the 10 up. Otherwise, yeah. Where can you find them? They're not public yet. Steve was nice. My lights just flickered. Okay. Steve was nice enough to send me the pre-production revision. There you go. Steve will have them up this weekend. So like tomorrow? Like tomorrow this weekend or like the weekend coming up? Because it's Saturday night. Okay, so dude, my lights are flickering right now. Like, and I can feel like the air conditioner. Are we supposed to get a storm or something? No, weather's fine. Weather's fine. Precipitation, no. Wind, no. How long does the upgrade take? Rough estimate. I mean, we're doing a whole rebuild. We're rebuilding an R1 Trident into an R2 Trident because it has to be an R2 Trident to support index. Or at least the front idlers do and the bed mounts do. But you might as well, if you're going to upgrade your Trident, you might as well go right to R2. So, I don't know. We're in part 2. So, a day or two. If you have like, it's a weekend project. If you're doing it by your own and you have the whole time to yourself, it's a weekend project. So, I don't know. All right, so now we mount this. Wow, mine looks so different. All right, so we got our bed mount. And what are these? M516s, okay. Hopefully, am I running low on M516s? I should still have a bunch. Okay. So, we have this little handy graphic here that shows us which one. So the wings come out. So the wings come out on this. And just mounts right at the edge. Okay. The spiders are chewing on the wires. I know they saw me trap their one friend in the jar. And they're like, "You're not gonna do that to us." And then you just make it flush at the end. Do I do the inverted electronics? No, I usually don't. I mean, if you want to do it, do it. I tend to build my Vorons mostly stock, just for compatibility with future upgrades and shit. So in this case, like, this one was built before inverted electronics was even a thing, this R1 Trident. Like this, when I built this, this was like an original Trident. Like this was the first Trident I built. So I built this like roughly whenever Trident was released. So for me, I would have to redo all the. I'm just leaving it. I'm just leaving it. Non-inverted electronics don't bug me, so I'm not like I don't care. Inverted electronics isn't like something I'm going to go out of my way to do. It doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I see the benefit to it, and if you want to do it, but I honestly just kind of don't care. When did Trident release? Monday, I think. Was it? No, Sunday. It was Sunday, I think, when they officially released it. I think. Oh, the original Trident. Yeah, the original was August 2021. There we go. So that's all in. M516's down all of them. Okay, sweet. Come on, get in your hole. There you go. There we go. And with that, our bed has been embedded in the printer. Get it? And then you loosen and retighten. And this way we make sure everything is, nothing's constrained too tightly or anything. Okay, I'm gonna tighten back up. We'll start with the back. Belts are overrated for the Z? Oh, yeah. I do believe there was a belt-in mod for Trident, but I mean, like, just build a V2 at that point. Okay. We're not going to put the bed on yet because we're going to have to move the printer around a bunch, and the bed just makes it heavier, so we can put the bed on later. Obviously, we're not doing any tool head shenanigans because there's no point yet. Why are we mounting this if we don't have the panel on? We don't have the panel on. Why are we putting those on? Panel orientation. Oh, I'm going to put the panel in first. Okay. So, we have our panel. Make sure nothing is pinched for wires, nothing's on top. Okay. There we go. And then we have our little cover plates. take the little middle ones off. Sweet. So they should come out. Oh, wow, they do just come out. Okay. So these are printed as one part, by the way. Like, it's just one print, and it just... That's cool. I'm assuming arrows go towards the front. Nuts. What holds it in? M3 T-nuts and an M210 self-tapper. You're not self-tappers. You're not self-tappers. You are self-tappers. I'm building a belted Z Trident, but I'm doing it because non-planar is printing. Slicing research box. Okay. Have you looked in available travel in order to do the work? Yeah. Like, the thing is, like, you have to be able to tilt it, and the nozzle has, like, it's non-planar. It's there are so many cool things that work really cool as trade show demos in 3D printing that I don't know when they're going to be like an actual thing. That's the problem. So many things that we see in 3D printing are like, oh, that'll be cool if it ever actually is a usable thing and not like trade show demo level of actual usability. Baby belt crew. Yeah, we'll be building a baby belt. I'm waiting on LDO to send me the kit, but we will be building a baby belt in the nearish future, hopefully. And then I need to figure out how to hook it up to an API so I can leave it on the wall behind the studio. And if you guys donate during the stream, it prints your name off. Or prints a coin with your name on it or something. I want to try and totally gamify it. Because why not? Ah, dang it. Well. What size screws do I need for the M36? It's always M36s. God, this thing... Steve, is it just me, or do we use a lot of M36s on this printer? Because I don't remember using a lot of M36s on previous Voron builds, and this printer has a lot of M36s in various use cases. Am I just like noticing it for the first time how many times we use M36s, or is it like, no, we use a lot of M36s in this? It does, lots of accent. Yeah, true, I guess they're mostly holding on accent pieces, which that's a relatively new thing for Vorons. Or at least in this regard. So if you're like me and you're building using mostly inventory you have, I mean, the only thing I've had to buy so far for upgrading is the heat sets. I had M540 socket heads. I just had to borrow them out of another printer and swap button heads with socket heads there. I had the M5 heat sets. What was the other thing? Extra bearings, which I had. I had extra bearings. So, like, if I wasn't doing index, we could do this whole upgrade with stuff I had on hand and some extra heat sets. So that's actually not too bad. That is not too bad. And obviously the printed parts. All my M36 screws are mixed up. So I have M36 socket head, flat head, and button heads all mixed together. Oh man, this thing looks so good. This looks so good. I gotta find a screen for it. I need a screen. I don't have a screen for this printer. West Riddy has upgrade kits. Yep. LDO will be coming out with them too. The skirt logo in the back. I mean, if you want to put an accent on the back of the printer that nobody's going to see, yeah. Hey, John. Showing up just in time to enter for your chance to win some filament and partake in the end of stream. Man, this looks good. I'm so happy with how this turned out. So I gotta print some, I gotta replace these guys. These guys are still orange, I gotta replace them. Okay. There's that. I'm not going to put these wire grommets on yet. There's no, I mean, I'll put the one on. Whatever, I'll put the one on. Put the heat sets in this one and just kind of mount it just so I have it. Yeah. So we don't lose it. Hopefully I don't break it off yet. I don't think I printed those. I don't think I printed these guys. What are these called? Cable covers? Yeah, I didn't print those. Where are the cable covers? STLs. Are they electronics bay? Panels? Oh, wire covers. That's why I haven't printed any of the panel stuff, that's why. I'll send that to the printer and get it printing. Send to kit. Core 1, 2. Send. How am I doing on blue on this? Is this printer running low? Eh, we might have enough. I might have to swap it out. There we go. Okay, let's put some heat sets in. We're gonna be doing the giveaway soon, so if you haven't entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, do so now. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you do want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, you enjoy this content, you will want to see it continue in the future, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you are really cool, gifting memberships to others. And 3 eggs. Yeah, there's not much difference in hardware. That's one of the reasons I tell people, if you're building a Voron and they're like, oh, which kit should I get? Should I get like a Seaboard kit or like a CNC parts? It's like, you can do whatever you want, but the further away your kit is from a stock Voron, the greater the chance is, you know, down the line, if there is an upgrade, like how Trident R2 just came out, like that Seaboard Trident. Okay, it's a quad XY, it's all CNC parts. If you were to rebuild that printer into an R2 Trident, the only thing you could probably do, I think the bed. You could do the bed. You can upgrade the bed to an R2 bed mount if you wanted to, but the entire gantry is CNC parts. You'd be throwing, you know, a quad XY CNC gantry in the garbage, essentially, to upgrade to R2. So there's nothing stopping you from getting kits that are heavily modded, but just be aware, if you go down that route, you're pretty much kind of locked into that printer you built, because there's no guarantee you'll have support in the future if there's an upgrade path. But that's only if you want to go down that upgrade path. If you're buying the CNC gantry parts for increased rigidity, you're good, right? But if it's like, oh, hey, I want to do index on it, well, you got to hope somebody makes a mod for that specific setup, right? Whereas if you built a normal Trident, you want to go to index, oh, I just do R2 with the mod. Done. That's supported. Versus, oh, I did a CNC gantry using, you know, I'm using Chaotic Lab front idlers. Well, you're going to have to figure out something. We'll only need, yeah. But if you wanted to put index on that, it'd be a lot harder to do. Okay, so we got the bed on, we got all that. Underneath there's panel clips and whatnot. I have those already installed. And now we're into electronics. Okay, well, let's plug some stuff back in. So, oop. Let's plug some stuff back in. So you're good there. So Z0, I'm assuming, is this guy. Okay. Z1, I'm assuming, is this guy. Z2, I'm assuming, is this guy. Power supply, let's put you in here. I need a proper screwdriver for this, and unfortunately I don't think I have one. Because I gotta go inside and grab a screwdriver. 1 second. 1 second. Where did I put it? I know the little guy had it. Where is it? I gotta find my LTT store one. Where is the screwdriver? Where'd the little guy put it? Where'd he put it? Oh, he totally stole it. Yeah, that'll work. Where did he put that screwdriver? I don't know. I gotta be quiet. Everyone's sleeping. Is it on the desk here? No. Oh, there's my hammer. Oh, that little guy's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Where did he put it? Where is it? Oh, he's going to get it. There it is. Everyone's asleep in the house, so I have to be quiet. No, the little guy got a, we were at Home Depot the other day, and they had like those little carpentry kits for like kids projects. They're like birdhouses and whatnot. He built like a little soccer goalie thing with like a little ref you can move, or goalie you can move around. The thing is, whenever he gets in his like project building mood, he like goes around the house and gathers all the tools and like hides them in his little nest area where he does the project. So even though he doesn't need a screwdriver, he goes around and grabs all the screwdrivers. He goes around and grabs all the hammers and all the wrenches and everything. And then he goes and he does whatever he's doing. So it's cute. It's cute. And ground. So here's the question, which one's live on this? I don't know which one's live on here. Shit. How are you supposed to tell? Are these labeled? Usually you, on these, do you switch the live? Well, okay, the ground's easy. The ground's green. So the ground is green. I'm assuming the neutral is white. Well, I got white and black. I'm trying to remember on these, is the switch? I'm assuming the switch is live. So that would be black. And then the white is neutral, I'm assuming. Because the white comes right in, I think. The red wire is red, is black. White is neutral, yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug it in right now and see if the power supply lights up. And if we're good, we're good. And if it doesn't light up, well, then we got a problem. So I'd rather blow a power supply than blow all the electronics. Right? Yep. Where's this other super long one? Right here. Where do you power your bed? Okay, I'm not going to deal with that yet. I'm not going to deal with that yet. I just don't want wires hanging all out anymore. Just kind of stuff them in spots and just kind of, you live in here for now and I'll deal with you later. And I gotta stop pushing the printer off the edge of the stupid thing. Okay, let's power this up and make sure I don't blow anything up. Now I'm like freaked out anytime I see something black moving on the floor. Does this even have a light on it? I don't even know if this has a light on it. Well, we'll find out in a second. Okay, there's no light. I mean, there's a light on the switch. Where's my multimeter? Grab the good multimeter. Okay, let's not make a new GIF. DC current. Okay. So that one for negative. 24 volts. 5 volts. 24. Making sure all the rails are good. 24. 24. Okay, we're good. We got 24 volts across the power supply. There, put the little cover plate on so nobody shocks themselves. There we go. You see a light? Is there a light? Oh, it might be on an angle, like you can't see it from, you can only see it from certain angles. Okay. I think that's about as far as we can go today. Because one, we are at 11 o'clock, so we got to do the giveaway. And two, the next thing we could do is like wire it up, electronics and stuff. So here we are. I got to print some parts. Some parts are printing, so we'll put those on. We need the R2 kit from LDO for the motors. Obviously, we need index for the whole index part. I gotta cut this, so. Okay, so I got to cut that there. I'll do that on my chop saw. Heck yeah! Look how good this looks. I'm digging this color scheme. I am digging this color scheme. Steve, you did good. You did good, Steve. You did good. Do I have the index kit? No, I do not. I'm gonna be getting the kit that everyone gets. So I'm assuming I get it when everyone gets it, kind of thing. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes. I'll give you guys 5 minutes to enter for your chance to win some polymaker filament. Just be aware, again, right now there is a bit of a back-end issue with polymaker and their servers for emails. So if you do win, you might not get the email from me for a little bit. So yeah, I'm keeping track of everyone who wins. But if you did win a spool of polymaker filament in the last little bit and you've had issues getting the spool, if you already got it and it's shipped and you already like ordered it, you're fine. But like if you haven't been able to order it and you won and like the code's being rejected or whatever, DM me on Discord and we'll sort it out. Cause I reached out to them and they're like, yeah, we're having some issues on our back end with the server and we're getting our IT guys to do it. And it gets fixed when it gets fixed kind of thing. So look at that. It's blue and yellow. Blue and yellow. I need to Amazon. They sell IKEA stickers. No, I want a sticker with the IKEA logo. I need a sticker with the IKEA logo. I don't want a gift card from IKEA. I want an IKEA sticker to put on the door. I have no idea what version I'm getting. I have no idea. Whatever one they send me. Simple as that. Whatever one they send me is the one I get. Functionally, there should be no difference between the production and the injection molded, or the Founders Edition SLS and the production injection molded. There won't be any functional difference between the two, hopefully. There shouldn't be, but yeah.
Take a look. We've got the XRP chassis. We have some of the light sensors there. Oh, those are going to be the servo mounts, I think. If we come around here, things are looking good. These are going to be the ultra. I thought.
He said he had a fail. Oh no!
Let's try a print. Unfortunately.
Oh no! Oh no!
Encapsulated the wire.
Oh no.
Sometimes you get some failures, and unfortunately, the Centauri.
Yeah, it's a 350. Yeah, it's a 350. It's a 350 on the XY, 250 on the Z. So we'll be able to load it up with tools across the front and do a lot. This will be good for hue forges. This will be a great hue forge machine. Or doing plates of multicolored stuff, but you're not going to be printing anything super tall on it. So we got 350 on the Z, or 250 on the Z. So. Yeah, this looks so good. I'm liking this. I'm digging this. I am digging this. So good. So how much would this been? This one. Oh yeah, that would have been much lower. That would have been much lower on the bed. How often are you printing that tall? I know, I have the Venture XL. I have a 600 millimeter V2 essentially if I need to print anything big. So. So, any questions so far before we do the giveaway? Does anyone have any questions or concerns or want me to cover something that I haven't covered yet on this build yet? Anyone got any cues? Yeah, so I have to sort out what we have for fans. I don't know if I have... Yeah, I don't have fans. So you got to go in here. So one of you is the Z. One of these is the Z. I have to redo one of these for the Z. It's all gooey. Yeah. What steppers do you need to run the shear bearings? Any of them that have long enough shafts. So like the stock ones, the shafts aren't long enough to lock into the upper, the bearing. So you need long shaft stepper motors, essentially. They need to be long shaft stepper motors. 35 millimeter shafts, there you go. Any filament feeder options yet? For feeding index, we're gonna be going with a pretty stock setup. So what I'll probably end up doing, depends on how many tools I have. Because if I can fit 8 tools on here, we're gonna have to put like 4 spools on each side, essentially. So we'll have 4 spools on each side. But this printer is probably gonna have to live on this shelf because that's like the only room. Because with the top hat on it, it won't be tall enough to sit on that shelf and it'll take up too much room. So it's gonna have to live back here, which means the Pantheon is probably gonna have to move to the floor somewhere. I don't know where. It's freaking huge. I might have to put the Pantheon underneath this. I might actually do that because these 2 printers that sit under here I don't use anymore, the Magneto and the VisiBot, and the shelf they sit on I could take out. So I take the printers out, take the shelf out, and put this directly on the ground and just slide it underneath. Just put it on sliders so I can slide it underneath, and then this can live on the floor underneath there. That's probably the only real option I have. So, also I bought a fishing rod today. I bought a little dock runner fishing rod because the little guy wants to go fishing, and I got annoyed of bringing a full-size fishing rod and keeping it in my car all the time for when the little guy wants to go fishing. So I'm like, go buy a little dock runner, a little ugly stick dock runner. Fishing for filament. I mean, you could use nylon if it's if it's nylon fishing line and it's the right diameter, you could. Okay, let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. Link to sheet, create. Close, close, save. Okay, names. Okay, delete, Control V, file save. So how many do we got here? 230. Okay, fire up marbles. What kind of fish are you hunting? Something sharks. I don't know. I mean, people hunt tuna and they have massive, and they weigh a ton. I don't know how heavy the line there. Although I think you use steel line at that point. Like you're not using nylon at that point. It's 230, right? 230, yeah. Okay. Bots 230, go. It's possible to put 4 tools on the front side and 4 tools on the back side. And the code now how to deal with such an arrangement of home positions. Oh, that would be, okay, so are you talking about like port 4 on the front, 4 on the back? You would need a tool head that could pick up from both sides. Or you rotate the tool head mid-print, that wouldn't work. You either put them all on the back or all on the front, one or the other. You can't really do both. Okay, so how this works is if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker, but if I pick your ball and your ball wins, you also get a free hat. This one right here. You look lonely. TJL WTF. If you win, you get a free hat. Good luck. Exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. And if you like the smash button, ring the bell, and are subscribed to the channel, it'll grease your ball up, make it go even faster. And if you're like sci-fi here, you can go jump off if you want. Oh God. Quit dying, everyone. Who's in the lead? There you go. Okay. And if you subscribe before the end of the game, it'll 10x your luck. But luck is an intangible value thing anyways, so. I think there was a Trident 2.4 abomination that picked. I mean, there's the Mad Max, which picks up from the front, left, and right. But that is its own thing. Oh. Oh my God, D2, you are like, oh. KCMO buff with the snipe. KCMO buff with the snipe. So congratulations, KCMO buff. KCMO. There you go. So, if all goes well, you'll get an email from me after the stream ends. Let me actually fire it up here. Let me see if the thing is working now. Giveaways. Let me see here. Spool. Okay. Inbox, spam, sent. Okay, let's see here if I get an email, if it worked. Find out in a minute. If not, KCMO, you will get an email from me in the coming days whenever their system is working again, essentially. So this was fun. This is going together really good. It's nice building Vorons. I love building Vorons. And the R2 Trident so far has been really good. Now, to be fair, the tool head's unchanged. So if you wanted to know how the build for the tool head goes, watch any other full-size Voron build. The tool head's the same. We haven't belted it up yet because I don't have the tool head, so I got nothing to lock the tools in. Also, I don't have the motors yet because I'm waiting on LDO to send me some long shaft stepper motors for this. What else? We need to index, obviously. So we will probably wrap this up on Tuesday, or at least get as far as we can on Tuesday, and then we'll just call it. We'll get as far as we can on Tuesday, and then this will be put aside until index comes in, and then I can actually do an index upgrade on it because we have to install the index. I will cut this so we can install the front crossbar in anticipation, and then I don't know if I can get the files from Steve for the mounts so I can at least put those on. But the kits come with like the magnets and the springs you need for those anyway, so we can't do much with them anyways. But this will look really good. I'll take some pictures of this. I'll post it on the Discord as it is now. I'm not going to put the bed on until I need the bed on, because it just adds weight to the printer and we got to move it around. We also do have to build the top hat. So I'll dig around. I have the kit for a top hat, a 350 top hat. I got to find where it's at. So we'll build the top hat, and we'll get that installed as well. Use the Bond Tech provided mount. It's okay. So yeah, we gotta wait. I gotta wait for that then. So we'll have stuff to do on Tuesday, but literally there's not much we can do on this until we get index. So yeah, this looks so good though. I'm digging the color scheme. The black frame with the yellow and the accents. I wish the yellow, in person, the yellow does seem a little faded. It might show up on pictures. But it's a very muted yellow, which actually kind of works. It kind of works, so. So that works. That is cool. That is cool. Okay, so we are gonna call it there. Well, it's also blown out from the white balance too. It's not as blown out on the camera. So I'll take some pictures. I'll post it on the Discord and the Twitters and whatnot. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool filament we gave away this stream that I can't give away yet because their system is down, but you will get an email from me. And then also, for anyone who donated to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. I will see you all in the future. Good night.